Something strange is happening behind the scenes in Formula One, and you need to know about it right now. Rivals are accusing McLaren of cheating, pointing fingers and raising serious suspicions. But what's really behind these accusations? Is it jealousy? Desperation? Or is there something hidden that no one has noticed yet? And best of all, Andrea Stella, McLaren's team principal, did not stay silent. He responded with a powerful message that could completely change the game. Stay with me until the end, because this story has twists that will shock you. McLaren's excellent performance this Formula One season has raised alarm bells among rivals, who have started questioning the legality of the British team's car. With increasingly solid results, especially after upgrades that put the MCL 39 among the grid's frontrunners, rumors and accusations began circulating that McLaren might be bending technical rules to achieve this performance. Although no team has officially confirmed these suspicions, the rumors gained traction behind the scenes, provoking immediate reactions. Andrea Stella, McLaren's team principal, responded firmly to the doubts. In an interview with Racing News 365, the Italian mocked the rivals and said the team sees these accusations as a positive sign. According to him, when rivals stop focusing on their own problems and start worrying about theories surrounding McLaren's car, it means the Woking team is causing trouble on track, and for him, that's excellent news. Stella's direct and strategic response was more than a defense. It was a calculated provocation. Stella's speech also carries a clear message behind F1 scenes. He wants to show that McLaren stands firm on its principles and that the team's growth is not due to illegal tricks, but hard work and planning. By not showing discomfort with the rumors, the team principal reinforces confidence in the technical project and tries to shift the pressure, making competing teams waste time and energy looking for flaws that don't exist. McLaren's focus remains unshaken, even under attack. This stance reveals much more than a simple point-by-point response. It anticipates McLaren's strategy to handle the climate of suspicion. Stella takes advantage of the situation to reinforce the team's authority, invert the weight of the accusations, and maintain total focus on the championship. But the criticism did not stop at general comments. Rivals began raising more specific technical suspicions, forcing the FIA to act. As the noise behind the scenes grew louder, some teams decided to go beyond general insinuations and started pointing out possible illegal elements on the MCL 39. Among the allegations was the theory that McLaren was using movable or flexible wings, something banned by current rules, as it can provide a regular aerodynamic advantage. Another suspicion was a tire cooling system using water, which would also violate Formula One's technical regulations. The FIA, faced with these speculations, conducted detailed technical investigations on McLaren's car. None of the suspicions were confirmed. The highest motorsport authority found no evidence of legality in the design, neither in the wings nor in the alleged cooling system. For McLaren, this official validation served as further proof that the team's progress is fully compliant with regulations. The origin of these doubts may be linked to McLaren's sudden performance jump, which put them fighting for poles and podiums consistently. When a team jumps from midfield to competing with leaders, rivals become more critical, especially when it happens in a short time frame. Still, instead of responding nervously, McLaren answered transparently and technically secure, showing nothing was hidden. This episode reinforces how the competitive environment in Formula One is always ready to suspect other success, especially when it cannot replicate it. But Andrea Stella didn't just deny the accusations. He went further and turned the entire situation into a psychological advantage for his team. The way Andrea Stella reacted to the accusations reveals a strategic use of external pressure. Instead of defending with fear, he flipped the narrative by suggesting rivals are wasting too much time investigating things that don't exist, and that, according to him, only helps McLaren. For the Italian, whenever other teams divert focus from their own performance to look for ghosts in the opponent's car, they lose ground. This shift in focus, according to Stella, is the real technical error of the moment. Stella sees the scenario as something that can even accelerate McLaren's growth. While competitors fall into distractions, his team keeps working with clear goals, developing the car within the rules and strengthening itself as a legitimate competitive force. This reading reveals rare maturity in crisis management, using external noise as fuel to strengthen the team's internal culture. Moreover, The McLaren chief's response has a clear psychological component. He knows the game off the track also matters, and undermining rivals' confidence can make a difference. By saying he hopes more stories like these come up, Stella makes clear he's not only comfortable with the accusations, he wants them to continue because he believes they distract opponents from what really matters, performance on the track. This stance not only protects the team's image, but also feeds a narrative of confidence and authority. Yet even with all the security, Stella made a point to avoid any exaggerated euphoria and was straightforward when asked about comparisons between current McLaren and one of F1's greatest forces.
Well, we're past the halfway point of this video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't left a like on this video yet. This is really important for YouTube to keep recommending my content to you, and this way I'll keep bringing you the best Formula One content. So go ahead and leave a like on this video. It's free. Thanks. Now continuing.
Following a positive streak of results, it didn't take long for some to start comparing today's McLaren to the 2004 Ferrari, which dominated Formula One with Michael Schumacher behind the wheel. Andrea Stella, who was part of that legendary team, quickly put an end to any illusions. He reminded everyone that the 2004 car won 12 of the first 13 races and only lost one due to an accident. In other words, a dominance still far beyond what the current McLaren has achieved. Stella was firm in saying he uses the 2004 Ferrari as a personal benchmark of excellence, but that this is far from the current reality. For him, that season was marked by almost perfect technical and operational supremacy, something that can only be built with time, continuity, and perfection in every detail. Although McLaren is making important strides, there is still a significant journey ahead before reaching that level of consistency. By making this comparison with such care, Stella shows humility and emotional control. He prefers to keep the team grounded rather than fuel expectations that could backfire in the future. It is a strategic choice, avoiding the favorite label to maintain total focus on the work, without the pressure to equal historic achievements. This cautious outlook demonstrates that current success is being treated with seriousness, not unchecked excitement. Still, the fact that Stella mentions that Ferrari period as inspiration makes clear McLaren's real goal, not just winning isolated races, but building a winning long-term project. And it is precisely this quiet ambition that has sustained the team's growth despite skepticism and external criticism. Behind all the calmness and balance in Stella's words lies a clear plan to bring McLaren back to the top of Formula One. The team principal knows that the team has not yet reached the ideal level, but firmly believes that with continuous development, McLaren can become a dominant force in the coming years. It's not about an immediate leap, but about building on consistency, strategy, and clean engineering. The current moment, despite provocations and accusations, represents a fundamental turning point for the Woking team. The mature response to criticism, strong performance on track, and ability to withstand external pressures show that McLaren has learned to compete at the highest level, not just a talent behind the wheel, but with structure and leadership behind the scenes. This solidifies the image of a project that has ceased to be just promising and has become concrete. Even so, the team knows that it's not enough to accelerate in the present. They must turn these advances into a solid foundation for future. And this requires more than speed. It requires political stability, continuous technical evolution, and strengthening of internal culture. McLaren is trying to reclaim its winning identity with both feet firmly on the ground, even if rivals try to push it into the center of controversies. Andrea Stella, with his long-term vision, has been the key piece in this rebuilding. By using comparisons with the past and present accusations as fuel, he prepares the ground for a long-lasting cycle. The question now is, will rivals keep focusing on McLaren's car, or will they finally start facing their own problems head-on? The wave of accusations against McLaren reveals how high the pressure is in Formula One, and Andrea Stella's firm response makes clear that the team is confident and focused on what really matters, performance on the track. This battle is not just about cars, but about strategies, reputations, and the future of the championship. How do you see this situation? Are these accusations just distractions, or do they indicate a real problem? Share your opinion in the comments and stay tuned, because the season still holds many surprises.
And if you, just like me, are passionate about everything happening in the world of Formula One and want to stay updated on the latest news, Don't leave this video without sharing it with that friend who also follows F1 closely and will love this content. See those video suggestions on your screen? The first one I picked especially for you, with more news and analysis, and the other is a suggestion from YouTube itself. I'll see you there. Until the next video.